This picture shows the amount of heat that's being lost from different parts of the house using an infrared camera. The red bits show there's lots of heat passing out through those parts, whereas the green bits show that there's not very much heat being lost through the house in those parts. The inside of the house is actually probably around about the same temperature wherever you are. The bits that are red, where people think it's hotter, isn't because it's hotter, it's because most heat is being lost through that area. I don't know if you've noticed, but even at the bottom of the house underneath, they've actually got a little bit of heat being lost down here. So that would be the drafts that you get in houses. And you get drafts sometimes near the floor, near the ground, and sometimes through the cracks in the sides of the windows. Looking at this particular house, I'm wondering if the front part here has got roof insulation, whereas the part of the roof on this part doesn't have any insulation. You can see the porch there in green, and that must be really actually cold because it's outside and it's not being heated at all, so it doesn't have any heat to lose. These windows at the top as well seem a bit orange rather than red, and I'm wondering if that might be because they've got curtains which are helping to trap the heat in those rooms, or the curtains are closed in those rooms, whereas in the other windows the curtains are still open. This diagram shows where most heat is lost through the average house. So anywhere you get heat loss from, you can start to reduce the amount of heat loss by adding insulation. You'll often get quite a lot of heat loss through the roof because heat rises because of convection. But lofts can be quite easily insulated, and so you can quickly reduce that heat loss. The walls, however, can lose quite a lot of heat because of conduction, so that's where the heat is transferred as the particles knock into one another. There are ways of reducing this using wall insulation, and you'll read about that later. Lastly, doors and windows are often quite thin, so it's very easy for heat to be transferred by conduction, as well as any cracks on the outsides of those windows and the gaps in between the window and door frames means that hot air is able to escape, causing little drafts.